The next group that we have coming up is Andrea Hall with Highlands Elementary in Johnson County, and she's going to be talking with us about the learning tree and helping those in need.
You all did a great job. I must say that I am very nervous, and I didn't sense you all being nervous at all. That was fantastic. The Learning Tree, Education Branching Out, is a community problem-solving team that is comprised of 10 students and 2 coaches. They became devoted to helping students in Wilmer, Alabama by supplying them with school supplies. They quickly set out and began by completing the STARS Innovation Grant and quickly received word back from Kelly Thompson that they had been awarded $1,000 to help with this endeavor. A concern was developed through writing students in Wilmer, Alabama with a 6th grade writing class. They realized and found out that a lot of the homes and schools had been destroyed by a hurricane and by tornado. So they quickly got their mission statement together, which was to value the partnership which exists between schools, students, community, state, and country, while serving underprivileged students who are in a crucial period in their life and accommodating learning to all students. They first began by collaborating with the Highland Elementary Family Resource Center, Kathleen Burchett, in hopes to get Highland Elementary on board with our project. They quickly set out to raise awareness both in our community and in our school. They created posters which were hung in the school and also created flyers that went home with every student there and distributed them also within the community. They quickly set out and began fundraising by having bake sales. They made all the candies, all the cookies. They even learned how to make wreaths so that they could auction them off. They did everything with fundraising, from making all of the contacts to setting up all events, to making everything and preparing everything that had to go along with the fundraising, even budgeting and counting money. Their first event was a Christmas bazaar at Treasures on Main, and that is where they set up all of their candies and cookies and bake sale items and auction off the wreath in which was made. They also held a school supply drive at Highland Elementary, and it proved to be a great success because we created a war between the classrooms to see which classroom could actually raise or collect the most items. They also worked in conjunction with Johnson Central Honor Choir and did a Valentine concert. They helped host that there. Stood at the door, and donations were collected to go toward their project. They sold candy bars and suckers, and we became known as the Highland Elementary Candy Store because all of the students at the very end of the day could come to our designated area and purchase items that they could snack on. The team also made Valentine arrangements. They purchased mugs, chocolate, monkeys, and balloons, and put all of the Valentine ornaments together and sold them to the community for $10 a piece, and that generated funds also. They organized a sweetheart dance. They did everything from setting up the refreshments to getting the DJ in place. And they also got in touch with John Michael, with Images by John Michael, to actually take pictures at the dance for a nominal fee. They also filled out an application for a mini grant at Walmart, in which they got. The mini grant was for $100, and that was also used to purchase school supplies. Then it was the good stuff, time for shopping, which all girls love to do. This actually was a very educational event for them because they learned the value of $1. They learned how to make good choices and not bad ones, how to choose items that were on sale. Like at Walmart, when they went to Walmart and they found book bags for 70% off, they bought a total of 270 book bags to send to Wilmer, Alabama. Then it was time for the sorting and counting, so everything was brought back into my classroom, and on the weekends they donated all of their time to come in and to count and sort all the glue sticks, all the crayons, all the backpacks, all the pencils, scissors, everything that they had collected. And then they began to box them up for shipment to Alabama. The supplies were all boxed up, and they had 47 boxes that were absolutely filled to the brim with goods that they sent to the students that didn't have hardly anything at all. The students they sent them to all the students fell 100% under the poverty guidelines. They also set up with the local businessman to come and collect their boxes to transport them to a UPS pickup station, which was in Paintsville. They carried the boxes out, took them in the station, put the boxes on the pallet, and shrink wrapped them so that they could be delivered to Alabama. And of course the boxes are ready, and they had a little fun with this also, getting a little tangled up in the shrink wrap. But you have to have a little bit of fun when you do this. Three days later, all the shipment arrived in Wilmer, Alabama, and the students there were able to go and unload the boxes. And these were the same students that we had first began with as pen pals. So that was something really special for them to do. They unpacked the boxes, and as you can see, the school supplies were actually given to students there, and it was put to great use, and you can tell by the smiles on their faces that they're very happy. They then began to prepare their project for the state competition, and we actually had a sleepover, as the girls call it, and put the scrapbook and presentation board together. I did very little of this. All I am is a facilitator. The girls did all the work themselves. The presentation board is on display downstairs, so if you get a chance, go down and look at their board. Look at the PowerPoint that they have created and the scrapbook that they have created, and it will give you a more detailed idea of what they did. At the Governor's Cup CMPS component event, they were declared state grand champions, and they now get to go on to the international competition in Ames, Iowa on June 10th. And as you can tell, they are very, very happy. And even though there are agencies within the community, like family resource centers, that help these students in need, we have to pull together as a community. And this is something that the girls found, to help, because everybody working together creates a better future for tomorrow for everyone involved. Thank you. We'll now open it to questions for the girls. If anybody has any questions you would like to ask.
Did UPS charge for the shipping, or did they?
Yes, they did charge. Yes. And our school was very generous. The school took care of the shipping charges. These girls are just dying to talk.
So
No
you
more
started
questions?
out as pen pals, and then this disaster happened, and then is that
Yes.
how you decided who to help? I may
Yeah,
miss that.
the letters showed like that they needed, that they were in need.
Okay.
Do you still communicate with the students there in Alabama?
Yes.
Do you have them, like, do you use social media, Facebook, things like that with them?
We actually FaceTimed them, and they told us how much they were loving their book bags and their school supplies that they got.
How much money did you raise altogether?
We raised about $5,000 worth of school supplies.
$5,287. That's a little better than 5,000.
What's your next idea? Got any in mind?
Well, we would like to try and branch out to other schools that are in need.
Something that I have found out is that all of these girls have servant hearts and they want to help people. And I'm just grateful to have children like that to work with.
Wonderful way to end it. Time's up. So thank
Okay.
you all.
Thank you.